Meet Jane. Jane is bilingual, meaning she fluently speaks 2 different languages. Jane wonders how her 2 different languages are controlled. There are 2 theories for controlling languages and bilinguals, the whack-a-mole theory and the light switch theory. The first theory is the whack-a-mole theory. This theory coordinates with language non-selectivity. It predicts that bilinguals will experience interference from one language when using another, meaning you can't turn one language off. Blair and Harris conducted an experiment using a phoneme monitoring task with both English speakers and English and Spanish speakers. The reaction time for bilinguals and monolinguals was measured, and results showed that monolinguals had a longer reaction time for the experimental sentences, while bilinguals had a shorter reaction time. This supports that both languages are co-activated and therefore can interfere with each other. Another study incorporated Russian and English bilingual speakers. These bilinguals were given a task to put the stamp below the cross in Russian, and they were given options of items. The word stamp in Russian is similar to the word marker in English, which affected the performance of this task. This is because the distractor item of a marker affected bilinguals more than monolinguals. Interlingual homographs showed that the words in both Russian and English were constantly activated, and therefore one had to be constantly inhibited, which interfered with each other. Next is the light bulb theory. This is the language selectivity theory, which predicts that bilinguals won't experience interference from one language when using another, meaning you can switch one language off. For example, the light switch theory can be supported by this hypothetical situation. Imagine a bilingual individual who spoke both Spanish and English. If the light switch theory was true, the individual would be able to completely ignore their knowledge of Spanish while speaking English, and the individual's Spanish would not interfere with the English language. So Jane has a few advantages from being bilingual. This is known as the bilingual advantage. The first benefit from bilingualism is there is an onset delay of Alzheimer's disease, which could be due to a cognitive reserve, which is the preservation of cognitive skills despite some neural damage, as shown in Luhmann's study. Another benefit is it increases and solidifies more cognitive control. This is compared to those who speak only one language, as bilinguals constantly navigate multiple languages. Finally, it forces individuals to manage 2 mental dictionaries, which does make lexical access prolonged, but it also increases mental capacity. Now that you have heard about both theories, which theory do you believe to be true?